Wake up with Hannah.
Good morning. It's just coming up to 9:20. We're going over to Greece now to speak to Liz Parker. She met her husband-to-be, Ronald Fraser, when they studied at RADA together. Ronald appeared in many British plays, films and TV shows from the 1950s to the 90s. But more recently, since the passing of her husband, Liz lives in Greece, having bought a rundown taverna and yacht club. Her memoir, A Life Lived, covers a myriad of topics and tragedies, sadly. Welcome to the show, Liz.
Hello, Anna. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's really lovely to chat with you. What an interesting and varied life you've lived.
Yeah, I have. I'm so lucky, aren't I? I mean, I'm getting on a bit now, but most of it has been quite wonderful. Yeah,
oh, that's nice. That's nice to be able to say that. So, but can we go back to RADA days? What was it like studying at RADA?
Well, all I can remember, it was great fun. I studied with all sorts of really famous people then. They weren't famous then, of course, like Peter O'Toole, etc. But it was hard work, actually. I think people don't realize what hard work acting can be. I mean, physically as well, you know, as the studying the words. Yeah, you have to do fencing and ballet and all of these things so you can move on stage,
yes,
you know, properly. Yep.
And did you have any inkling at the time when you were studying with people who went on to become famous, people like Peter O'Toole, as you say, did you think at the time, oh, they've got something special, or was it a surprise to you when they made it?
I think I always thought Peter would do something, yes. Because he was such a character, such an individual, you know. But the others, like Timothy West, surprised me, you know. He looked so ordinary. Sorry, he's a brilliant actor, but
yes.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. And tell us a bit about your time with your husband then, Ronald, because you were together for years and had lots of celebrity friends as well.
Yeah, yes, we had fun. I suppose when he made his name in a play called The Long, the Short and the Tall, really, and then when started filming, it became more difficult because I had then had a child. So it was difficult for me to go on location. But I was so lucky when I did go to meet people who I admired and had just gawped at on the screen, and there I met them in the flesh. It was just extraordinary for me, like, oh, this is happening to me.
Yes.
You know.
What kind of people can you remember?
Well, I suppose I shall never forget Robert Mitchum. He did a film called The Sundowners in Australia, and then they came to England, and I mean, he was such a wonderful character, very sexy. But the nicest person, I suppose, was David Niven. He was a charmer, polite and good-looking and attentive, and, you know, didn't have any sort of star, sort of, don't talk to me, I'm a star stuff. He was really nice man. Yes.
Oh, it's good. It's what you hope, isn't it? And when you hear conflicting stories, it's very disappointing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and I suppose, you know, fame does affect people in an adverse way sometimes. It does. Yes, it's true. Yeah.
And how did you end up in Greece?
Well, that's I didn't go till I was to live there until I was quite old, like 59.
That's not old.
Oh, isn't it? Oh.
No, you've just offended a load of people, Liz.
Well, it felt old at a time.
Fair enough.
But I trained as a social worker, and I'd been working with single parents in London, like Brixton and Wandsworth. And then I got quite ill. I got cancer. And I realized it was the stress of my work. And I'd always been in love with Greece. Like, the moment I set foot there, I thought, this is where I belong. I've lived here in another life, if you believe such things. So I decided that's where I would go to retire. And then this opportunity came up to buy this awfully run-down taverna and yacht club on this tiny island. No electricity or telephone or anything. and I was fortunate because I had a partner there with a yacht. And, like in Greece, yachts are quite important. There's so many islands. I think there are 20,000 altogether. But not all inhabited, of course. So that's why I ended up in Greece. Yeah.
And how's it gone with this taverna?
Well, how did it go? Because I have since sold it. It was such fun and such hard work. And I think somebody wrote in one of our books that we had for guests, this place makes 40 towers look like Claridge's. I mean, that's how tatty it was, really. But we tried our best. I ran it with my daughter, who did the cooking, and I was a rather bad, rude waitress. Yes. But it defeated us. It defeated us in a way because we had all the sort of things like snakes and rats and mice, and, which any place, in the countryside has.
Yes.
But they were in the house.
Yeah, not on the menu, I hope.
No, not.
So do you miss it, or are you quite pleased to be out of that?
Well, actually, I'm quite pleased to be out of it, because to get there, there was no road. We had to go by tractor or boat, and then we had to walk up 39 steps, would you believe, and back down. And as I got older, I just couldn't make it. I'm a smoker as well.
Yes.
And I couldn't make the steps, so I moved to the mainland, but opposite the island, so I could help my daughter if necessary. But it was a wonderful, wonderful experience, yeah.
And what was this island?
It's an island called Trisonia, and it's in the Gulf of Corinth. And Onassis wanted to buy it originally, but all the locals told him to sod off, actually, because they wanted the vines to themselves. Yes. And he bought an island near where I live now in Lefkada called Scorpios, which is exactly the same shape as Trisonia, yeah.
And what sort of size is Trisonia?
Oh, darling, I'm terribly bad about numbers and meters and things. I suppose it's about, how would you say, about 6 miles by 8 miles.
Wow, that's very
That's
small.
All. Yeah, yes, it is. But the advantage was it was quite near to the mainland, like there were kayakis going over to the mainland. So it was only 10 minutes to the mainland by water taxi, yeah.
Okay, so you get lots of visitors that way, presumably.
Well, yes, in the season, but I don't know if you know, in Greece, out of season, there's nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. After September,
absolutely,
everything's dead, except for we had the yachts coming in.
Yes.
So it didn't die down until about October, the business, really, yeah. No, so I stayed in Greece because I love it, yes.
Oh, I can see why. And can I ask you about your cancer treatment? Because I understand you refused to accept standard treatment and you tried some alternative things. Can I ask you about that and how it went?
Yes, I did have some standard treatment. Like I had some radiotherapy once, yes, for my cancer internally, like wherever's left of when your uterus is gone. I don't know what's left, really. And then it reoccurred in my breast, and it was then that I thought, no, I'm not going to have chemotherapy. And I discovered, through a friend, this doctor who was a real doctor, but he was a homeopath and a naturopath. And I went to visit him, yeah. And he just realized that I was in a terrible state emotionally because of my life, because of my drinking and smoking, etc. And he put me on a course of injections from the mistletoe. Actually, it's strange, isn't it? Because the mistletoe is considered poisonous. And it was a drug called Iscador. And I had that for a year. And I changed my diet. And I didn't drink and I didn't smoke for a year.
Oh, well done.
And then I went to Greece. And I did a lot of meditation and yoga. And it seems to have worked because I'm touching wood now. I'm all right.
Oh, fantastic. What a great story. That's amazing. So now after a year then, have you, if you don't mind me asking, have you gone back to similar diet and lifestyle as to how you were before then?
I'm a vegetarian.
I'll put you on the spot now.
I'm a vegetarian now.
Okay.
And that's I eat fish, actually. I'm a fishitarian because living in Greece, as you know, fish is so prolific. I mean, is that the right word? I don't, obviously, in Greece, go out and indulge in late nights as I used to, but I do like my glass of wine. I do like a gin and tonic, and I do smoke again. Yes.
But you're doing well on it, which is the main thing.
I think so. I'm at 82. I'm pretty all right. I think a lot of it's to do with swimming.
Okay.
Swimming's my favourite thing. I swim every day when the water's warmed, of course.
Oh, how lovely. Is that in the sea or do you have a pool?
Oh, no, in the sea. No,
Oh,
I don't
fabulous.
like pools. I don't like chlorine at all. I don't do pools. No, but sometimes the weather is pretty rough and you have to go and choose the beach where there aren't big waves, but I know it so well.
Yes.
I know where to avoid the big waves.
So is the sea warm enough most of the year then?
No, it's not actually, Hannah.
You brave the temperatures, do you?
Unfortunately. I mean, I have really brave friends who go in all through the year, but I'm not that brave. I do go off to places like what's it called? The Caribbean in the winter.
Oh, fabulous.
Occasionally, so I can swim. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, how nice. So how has it been for you writing this book? Why did you decide you wanted to share all your stories?
Well, yes, I think I did decide to write it. I have written another book, an autobiographical one, about my time in Tresonia. But this time I decided, I think it was because my youngest daughter died tragically very early at 45.
Oh, gosh.
And, yes, alone in Tresonia. And I was still grieving, and I'd really never sort of said goodbye. So I thought this to write, and in course include Alison's death and the reasons, would be cathartic. And then, of course, I thought, well, I might as well write my whole story then.
Yes.
But I think it was really as a sort of cathartic feeling for me. I should do this. I wanted to do this. But I have a great sense of humour. So it was quite difficult for me to write the rather tragic parts. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. So has it helped then, do you think, in a way?
I really think it has, yes, to actually write it all down rather than just think about it and grieve inside silently. Just to put it down in words has helped me enormously. Yes, it has.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Yes.
And do you have a good group of friends around you in Greece?
Well, I'm very lucky. I mean, there aren't as many expats as there are in Spain, I suppose. But there are some, and there are also some wonderful, I have Greek friends, girlfriends, because Lefkada, where I live, is really cosmopolitan. It was overrun by Russians, Albanians, Italians, English, of course. And there are many women here who work here, who've travelled. And And they speak English as well, although I do speak Greek, but I don't fluently. I still can't read a newspaper. It's the grammar that gets me.
Yes.
So yes, I have a wonderful circle of few friends.
Lovely.
Yes. They are. I think I survived through my life because I didn't have parents around as a child. Because making friends, I mean, friends to me are essential.
Yes.
You know, because I don't have any man around at the moment either.
And are you all right with that?
Yeah, darling, I think so. I think so. I think I don't understand men very well, actually.
No.
I don't think I ever have. I get on better with gay men than I do heterosexual men, actually.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to understand them, do you think?
Yeah, what's that expression? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yes.
I suppose we should try, and I think it's getting better with a younger man. But because I am the age I am, I met some men who really I would never, ever have had a relationship with if I had been the age that I am now. You know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah,
fair enough.
But
Brilliant.
there are, I mean, my son is, 46 now? And he's really nice. Well, I would say that, wouldn't it? But he's non-macho and understanding and all of these things. So I think it's changing, thank goodness.
Oh, that's great. Well done,
Yes.
you. Well, if people want to get a copy of your book, it's called A Life Lived, and it should be available to buy on our website in the bookshop section. And it's by Liz Parker, who we've been chatting to today. Liz, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
And thank you, Hannah, very much. Have a lovely summer.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Europe Today.
And in accordance with the wishes of the British people.